हेलो एवरीवन, बीइंग टॉपर्स में आप सभी का स्वागत है। आज हमारे साथ है अदिति मैम, जिन्होंने CSE 2022 में 57 रैंक हासिल किया है। तो चलिए आज हम जानते हैं इनकी जर्नी के बारे में और इनका प्रिपरेशन कैसा रहा था, क्या इनको मोटिवेशन मिला था इस प्रिपरेशन जर्नी में। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट। मैम, पहले तो मैं आपको थैंक यू बोलूँगी कि आप यहाँ पे आए। रियली तो ग्रेटफुल कि हाँ चलो मैम से मेरी मुलाकात हो गई है। ये मेरा फर्स्ट वीडियो रहा है। इट्स ओके, अगर जो कुछ भी होगा वो कट कर देंगे। तो मैम, मैं आप जानना चाहती हूँ कि आपने ये प्रिपरेशन UPSC प्रिपरेशन करना कब से स्टार्ट किया। क्या आपने सोचा था, क्या आइडिया मिला था, क्या थॉट मिला था कि आपको यही करना है।
मेरा ही कि मुझे इसमें जाना है वो था तो बहुत पहले से, स्कूल टाइम से, बट बहुत ज़्यादा फोकस तब हुआ जब मैं 12th अपना कर रही थी एंड आई हैड टू चूज़ अ ग्रेजुएशन कि मैं क्या करना चाहती हूँ। आई हैड साइंस लाइक PCM इन क्लास 11th एंड 12th, बट देन व्हेन आई डिसाइडेड कि इंजीनियरिंग तो नहीं करना, सो आई थॉट कि आई शुड चूज सम लाइक आई वाज रियली इंस्पायर्ड विद द ह्यूमैनिटीज स्ट्रीम, सो आई चेंज्ड माई स्ट्रीम. I got into BA Honours Sociology and I did my graduation from Jesus and Mary College, Delhi University, and I graduated in 2021. So while I was in college, I used to study, I used to read a lot, be it NCERTs or my subject stuff. Yeah, so I used to just build up my base, and not just subject books, but I also read different like other non-fiction books. So after I graduated in 2021, I took a 1-year drop, and then I prepared from Bareilly itself, through online sources, and this is my first attempt, and I feel I'm lucky enough to have cleared this exam.
Okay, yes. Ma'am, अगर prelims की बात करें हम, तो prelims में आपका क्या strategy रहा था, कैसे आपने prepare किया था? Because जैसे कि बोला जाता है कि ये जो पेपर है ये जनरल अवेयरनेस का पेपर है, तो आपने कैसे इसको प्रिपेयर किया था कम्प्लीटली?
आई थिंक प्रिपरेशन तो मेरे नॉर्मल जैसे सब लोग करते हैं कि आप पहले अपना सिलेबस कंप्लीट कर लो, उसको जितना रिवाइज कर सकते हो उतना रिवाइज कर लो, एंड द नंबर ऑफ मॉक्स दैट यू सॉल्व, द मोर कॉन्फिडेंस दैट यू गेन. However, prelims is the most, as I think everyone would say, it's the most unpredictable one, where you even after giving like 50 mocks, you're not sure कि prelims निकलेगा या नहीं निकलेगा. But I think what is more important in prelim stage is that you have the confidence to, if you think that आप intelligent guessing करते हो, तो वो ना practice से आ जाता है. And I think मैं prelims करने के बाद में थोड़ा सा unsure तो थी कि क्या पता निकलेगा या नहीं निकलेगा. So there is no full-fledged strategy. I think everyone does the same thing. They practice mocks and depending on the scores, they try to improve themselves. जहाँ improvement का scope लगता है वहाँ मैं दोबारा जाके पढ़ती थी उन topics को. So this is how I covered prelims.
Ma'am, CSAT के लिए कुछ अलग से strategy लगाई?
I think CSAT is getting difficult year by year. हाँ, day by day it's getting very difficult. So what matters is, a lot of people used to do कि आप मैथ्स अच्छा अपना स्ट्रॉन्ग करते थे, सो पीपल यूज टू लीव कॉम्प्रिहेंशन वाला पार्ट. बट आई वुड सजेस्ट दैट you need to pick and choose the number of questions that you can do. There will be they're giving more and more difficult questions, that's true, but there will always be questions which are easy and you can attempt them. And since you only need to qualify that paper, I think first of all what you need to ensure is that you pick and choose the kind of questions that you can attempt. And if there's a question that is just difficult and you think कि वो नहीं हो रहा, तो don't waste your time on it. So this is what I did for my CSAT, कि just selectively choosing the kind of questions that I can do, the easier ones, and comprehensions आप miss नहीं कर सकते. अब comprehensions का एक थोड़ा savior बनता जा रहा है, so I relied more on comprehension bit, so which is why I could clear. And I would suggest कि CSAT practice एक बार previous year questions आप practice कर लोगे, so I think that would be
cover हो जाता है.
जी.
Okay, अगर मैम टेस्ट की बात करें या फिर प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस को जो सॉल्व करते हैं स्टूडेंट्स आपने कितने इयर्स का सॉल्व करा था?
प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस के ना जैसे कई सारे कंपाइलेशंस आपको मार्केट में मिल जाएंगे, तो आई वुड सजेस्ट कि आप स्टार्टिंग से कर सकते हो. लाइक
किस ईयर से? 2012 से आपने?
आई हैड टेकन अ बुक जिसमें ना सब्जेक्ट वाइज वी हैड प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस, तो मैंने आई थिंक उसमें 1980s से कवर्ड है. तो मैंने बुक ले ली थी, मैंने उसी में सब्जेक्ट वाइज सब्जेक्ट मैंने PYQ सॉल्व किए थे एंड उससे भी काफ़ी हेल्प मिला बिकॉज UPSC सॉर्ट ऑफ अगर रिपीट नहीं करती है क्वेश्चंस तो वो थोड़े थोड़े डायमेंशंस रिपीट करती है क्वेश्चंस में, तो उससे काफ़ी हेल्प मिल जाती है। तो
मैम अभी जो लास्ट ईयर अभी जो एग्जाम हुआ है 2 दिन पहले ही, उस एग्जाम में देखा गया कि एक क्वेश्चन डिट्टो का डिट्टो आपके लास्ट ईयर से दिया गया है, लास्ट ईयर के क्वेश्चन पेपर से दिया गया है। तो ये भी काफी हेल्पफुल है स्टूडेंट्स के लिए कि हाँ आप प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करो पहले, देन आफ्टर।
आई मीन प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन में रिपीटेड क्वेश्चंस मिलते हैं, दैट्स ट्रू, बट ऑल्सो आपको पैटर्न पता चलता है कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल देयर वाज अ क्वेश्चन ऑन मिताक्षर वंस, आई मीन कुछ साल पहले था, फिर अगले साल अर्थशास्त्र पे क्वेश्चन आया। So we get that mindset कि okay fine, UPSC is asking from these books which were ancient and important books. Then we also had questions from travelers. So not just questions, but you also get a pattern. What kind of questions they would be asking. And उन questions से आपको ये भी पता चलता है कि how they are putting up options and where are the loopholes that you can you can just extract. तो वो self analysis से आप बार-बार practice करते हैं वो आ जाता है।
मैम लाइक प्रीलिम्स हो या मेंस हो, हर जगह पे देखा गया है करंट अफेयर का बहुत ज़्यादा रोल रहा है, तो आपके लिए चैलेंजिंग नहीं रहा कि किस सोर्स को आप पकड़ो, कैसे आप इसको टैकल करो इन चीज़ों को?
आई थिंक करंट अफेयर्स, like a lot of students just rely on their monthly magazines. They're good, certainly they're good, but I think monthly magazines would help you more in prelims. For example, you get all the facts at one place. However, if you look at mains, monthly magazines could be helpful, but I think newspapers is the most important source that you can do. Yes, and when I say newspapers, newspaper has to be done very thoroughly because a lot of times I remember in mains this year, like last year when I gave my mains, there was a question on wind energy. And in none of the test series or in magazines, there was no question on wind energy or hybrid models. So, but when you come to newspapers, there were news. Like for the past few months, there was some news about this model, wind energy model, hybrid models. So when I was doing that, it was there in my memory. I didn't read it, but when I used to do newspapers every day, it gets into your self-analysis part. You're able to analyze points more clearly. And you develop that habit of analysis. That's what I would say. So newspapers is very important and there's no substitute to it. And when it comes to preparing current affairs, what you can do is just read your newspaper every day very religiously. And when it comes to prelims, you can add on to those newspapers with those monthly magazines for facts.
लाइक आपके जो नोट्स रहे हैं उसको कनेक्ट कर दिया आपने किसी भी एक मंथली मैगजीन से?
जी, सो हाँ, तो मैंने छोटी छोटी स्निपेट्स नोट्स बनाती थी न्यूज़पेपर से, and sometimes I would only add those notes to my static portion. So if I have, for example, my notes on economic liberalization, and if there's a news on economic liberalization somewhere in the newspaper article, so with a different pen, I would just write I will just add it to my own static notes. So that is what I would do. And when monthly magazines would come, I would see if there's something extra, I would add on to it. That's how you need to connect the dots. I mean, you can't just leave okay, this is my static portion, this is my current affairs. You won't be able to do it. So you need to combine it and just connect the dots wherever you can. Yeah.
मैम मेंस की अगर बात करें तो आपका मेंस में किस पेपर में सबसे ज़्यादा हाईएस्ट स्कोरिंग मार्क्स रहा है?
I wouldn't say highest try, but I've scored pretty well in my optionals. Yeah, I've scored, it was sociology, I scored 289 this year. Yes, and my essay score was also nice, like I scored 134.
तो ऑप्शनल के लिए भी आपने कुछ अलग से लाइक कोई कोचिंग का मटेरियल या समथिंग कुछ ऐसे जैसे आपने कहा कि आप सेल्फ स्टडी कर रहे थे और या ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज वगैरह आपने ले रखा था, तो ऑप्शनल के लिए आपने क्या स्पेशली किया था?
फॉर ऑप्शनल्स क्योंकि मेरा ग्रेजुएशन सोशियोलॉजी में था तो मुझे ज़्यादा कॉन्सेप्ट्स पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी थी. आई न्यू अ लॉट ऑफ आई थिंक द एंटायर सिलेबस आई हैड कवर्ड इन माई ग्रेजुएशन. बट when it comes to preparation for this exam, I took a few test series and I attempted previous year questions on my own. So I would buy those papers for writing, and I covered all those previous year questions. I analyzed them, and after that I took a test series from Triumph IAS, विकास रंजन सर, मैंने उनका बस टेस्ट सीरीज एक ज्वाइन किया था एंड आई थिंक 6-7 टेस्ट थे जो मैंने लिखे थे एंड जो भी फीडबैक आता था मेरे लिए मैं उन पर वर्क करती थी एंड दैट्स हाउ आई इम्प्रूव. आई मीन इन ऑप्शनल्स आई थिंक फॉर सोशियोलॉजी आई कैन से वो टाइम मैनेजमेंट का थोड़ा इशू हो जाता है बट अदरवाइज यू कैन स्कोर गुड. जी
मैम, और मेंस के लिए क्या स्ट्रैटेजी रहा है आपका कंप्लीट पेपर्स के लिए
फॉर जीएस?
हाँ,
For means, I think what is more important is first of all that you need to do time management. Like a lot of people, they give undue importance to a few questions which they know really well, and they leave a lot of others. And and they don't give due importance to every topic that is there in the syllabus. So for means, I particularly kept my syllabus with me every time, and I would analyze every bit of it. So whatever the syllabus is there, you need to do it very thoroughly. Like every topic that is mentioned over there, it could be asked in different forms. So I prepared separate notes for every topic, short notes, but for every topic. I didn't leave anything. And after that, I started answer writing. After I completed my syllabus and revised it a number of times, I started with answer writing. And then analyzed my answers, like where is the scope of improvement, how can I add more value to my answers. So that's how I prepared for every GS paper.
जैसे आपने बताया कि आप रिवाइज भी करते रहते थे, लेकिन पर डे आपका रूटीन चलता था या वीकली आप रिवीजन कर लिया एक बार?
नहीं, so revision cannot be really divulged from answer writing. So I would divide my day in different slots. So and different slots with different subjects also. Like today I would do history, tomorrow I would do polity, and so I would do it in sections because there needs to be continuity. So if for example if you do history for this entire week and then you think that for the next week you will do polity, then by the time you will complete polity you will forget history. So you need to do it in continuity so that it retains in your head more for a longer period. And I did that. I used to do revision. I used to keep 3 hours separately for answer writing, one test every day. So I gave a lot of tests. So you can't really just do either this or that. You need to do everything simultaneously.
Okay.
That's
like 7 papers hai, 5 days.
Yes.
Each paper, you have to complete 50 pages.
Yes.
So it's a very challenging task रहा होगा आपके लिए.
Yes.
तो आपने पर डे आप ऐसे कुछ करते थे 50 पेजेस और 40 पेजेस मुझे पर डे लिखना है, ऐसे कुछ आपने डाला था अपने रूटीन में?
So थोड़े टाइम एक महीने पहले मेंस के I would write 1 paper every day.
Okay.
So which is 3 hours का 1 test every day I would write. तो उससे थोड़ा मोमेंटम बढ़ा मेरा, प्रैक्टिस, राइटिंग स्पीड. एंड शुरुआत में हाथ दर्द करता था, ऑफकोर्स लिखा नहीं जाता था, बट उसके बाद वो हैबिट बन गई. फिर धीरे धीरे करके आई स्टार्टेड विद राइटिंग 2 tests per day. So before my means I had this practice कि भाई एक दिन में you can write 2 tests and without your hand getting hurt. So it comes with practice. You can't just say कि okay fine I can write 2 tests today. Even I won't be able to write it today. So you need to do it with practice. It comes.
मैम जैसे कि अभी बिगनर्स हैं या स्ट्रगलर्स हैं, तो उनका ना मैं अक्सर सुनती हूँ कि मेंस में काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं. मीन्स के लिए वो अपने मार्क्स ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा स्कोर करें, उसके लिए क्या ऐसा कुछ टिप्स आप दो?
First I would say that answer writing comes secondary. First of all, you need to revise because if you don't have the raw material, if you can't recollect and recall the stuff, you won't be able to write. So the first step for means I would say is revision. The more you revise, the more you'll be able to recall, and the better you'll be able to write. Second, I would say that when you have your own static notes for every portion, just ensure that you add some new original points if you can from different sources. I'm not saying that read many sources, but if you get something, a new, very unique point, you can just add on to it, and that reflects in your answers, and it looks really nice. And the more you give examples, the more you, even if you don't make a lot of flowchart, it's still fine. I didn't make any flowchart in my answers, and I scored pretty well. But the more you, so if I would say a statement, and it's explanatory, for example, but if I would give an example to illustrate that a statement, it becomes very powerful. So the more examples you give, the more, I would say applied you will make that answer in real life. that would fetch you more marks. So that is one thing, and I would suggest ki, do give importance to every question that is there in mains, as I already said. So if you complete your paper giving equal amount of time to every question, writing sticking to the word limit, I would say, and then I think it's good to go. One more thing I would like to add is that in mains, a lot of people try to go for perfection. I want to write a perfect answer. So there is nothing as such like a perfect answer. If I would write my answer today, I would always feel that there is something lacking in that. And when coaching institutes, they analyze our answers, they would always say, you missed this, you missed that. It's practically impossible to write everything in 150 words, and that too in 5 minutes. So you need to accept the fact that you will lack somewhere or the other. You won't be able to write everything in that 150 words. So it's okay if you're writing an average answer, just write it daily. If it improves, just try and improve it every day. But don't, just try to get a perfect answer. जो model answers होते हैं, you can't really have it. Yes. So that is one.
मैम, अगर इंटरव्यू की बात करें, जैसे आपने बताया कि दिस इज योर फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, राइट? तो प्रीलिम्स, मेंस एंड देन आफ्टर इंटरव्यू काफ़ी हैट्रिक रहा होगा, प्रेशर भी काफ़ी. इंटरव्यू के लिए आपने क्या अलग से कुछ प्रिपरेशन करा था, क्या?
मतलब मेरा इंटरव्यू काफ़ी जल्दी हो गया था, मुझे प्रिपरेशन का टाइम नहीं मिला था. जी, मेरा बिल्कुल स्टार्टिंग में था. तो बस इंटरव्यू में आपका जनरल GS में आपने जो पढ़ा होता है, आप उसको रिवाइज कर लीजिए एक बार, बिकॉज उससे बाहर तो सिलेबस आई थिंक सब कुछ ही हमारे GS में आ जाता है, every bit of knowledge. But in interview, there are two things that you need to focus upon. One, that is current affairs, because interview में उसका weightage थोड़ा बढ़ जाता है current affairs का. It's very natural because when you're going for interview, people are reading news every day. The interview board definitely reads newspaper. So it becomes a point of conversation. So current affairs could be handled really well, and in interview you need to prepare your own background, which becomes an added portion. So apart from syllabus, just cover up your district, your state, about yourself and your own personality, the things that you've done in life. If you prepare that bit and your current affairs along with your GS, it's good to go.
मैम, अब हम थोड़ी सी कुछ पर्सनल चीज़ों पे भी बात कर लेते हैं. आपने ये जर्नी कोई छोटी जर्नी है नहीं, राइट? तो काफ़ी मेंटल स्ट्रेस आता होगा, कभी कभी लो भी होता होगा, लगता होगा कि कितनी बार हम रिवाइज कर रहे हैं कि चीज़ों को यार छोड़ दो. तो इन चीज़ों को आप कैसे हैंडल करते थे, कैसे अपने आप को मोटिवेट करते थे?
मेंटल स्ट्रेस मैं जैसे मानती हूँ कि having a strategy, reading your subjects is one thing, and I think study portion is just 30% of this journey, and rest 70% is your mental strength and how you're holding up, because this exam is very uncertain. It's difficult for sure because you're covering a very vast syllabus. So the study pressure is one thing, it is always there, but at the same time you always have your own journey, your personal life is also there, and it takes a lot. A lot of sacrifices are required. So a lot of times you always feel demotivated because of it. You always feel that you might be out of the list, you might not qualify, what will I do, plan B, C, and the worldly problems come to you when you're preparing for this exam. But I would just say that for the bit that you're reading, जब तक आप पढ़ रहे हो तब तक just put your 100% into it. And there's also another problem where while reading we get the guilt if we take a few breaks in between. We get this guilt कि okay fine, I'm not studying, I should be studying, I'm wasting my time if I'm doing something else. But you need to analyze that your brain has a capacity to handle, and every day you can't really do studies for the continuous 8-10 hours. You can't do it, you'll get burnout. तो आप ऑप्टिमम लेवल पे लेके चलिए, एक शेड्यूल लेके चलिए जिसमें आप थोड़ा टाइम अपने लिए भी निकालेंगे. डू गेट रेजुविनेटेड. जो आपको पसंद है आप वो करिए. आपको पेंटिंग पसंद है, आप थोड़ा टाइम के लिए वो निकाल लीजिए विदाउट बीइंग इन गिल्ट. बिकॉज मैं गिल्ट में आके काफ़ी चीज़ें नहीं करती थी, एंड आई रियलाइज कि वो थोड़ा टॉक्सिक हो गया था. सो ट्राई टू फाइंड टाइम फॉर योर फ्रेंड्स, कीप पीपल अराउंड यू who actually are close to you. So I kept my family very close to me. I would cry. I would keep my family very close. So when you have those people around you, they would always pull you from if you're going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's very natural for everyone to feel demotivated every third day, every second day. I used to feel it too. I mean, everyone feels that. So just know that you're in the same boat as everyone else is. सबको ये होता है, मेरे साथ भी हो रहा है. So there's nothing new. But all you can do is just try to get better. If you feel low, you will definitely feel good someday. Like next day you'll feel good. Just try and make a comeback.
Like आपके लिए family जो था एक
Absolutely.
बड़ा strong pillar रहा है आपके
Yes.
like
My family and I had my few friends. I mean, not a big circle, but I had a very few friends with me who would just be there for me anytime I would call and cry. So I think that was a very big pillar of support.
मैम जब रिजल्ट आया था आप क्या फील कर रहे थे?
I was anxious. I was very anxious. I was crying. I was thinking all sort of bad things that might happen. मेरा नाम नहीं होगा list में and everything. I mean, I spoke to a few people. They were feeling anxious too. So it's very natural. But when the results came, it was unbelievable at first. And I actually deleted the PDF a number of times and then re-downloaded it just to ensure that okay, this is it. I have made it to the list. So it was a very unbelievable moment, but it was a very surreal one. Yeah.
Seriously, it's a very nice moment. Like आप उस टाइम को आप enjoy सोच ही नहीं रहे होगे कि आपको करना क्या है. 5 मिनट के लिए तो आप completely stop हो गए होगे अपनी इस जर्नी के लिए.
Yes, I did.
तो मैम लाइक मुझे ये अब बताना है कि सपोज अगर जो न्यू बिगनर्स है या जो न्यू मतलब जो स्ट्रगल्स हैं आप उनके लिए कोई एक छोटा सा न्यूज़ अगर आप कन्वे कर सको तो
there are so many things that I would like to say, but the most important one would be that a lot of people would say a lot of things. Like I would say कि I studied like that. Somebody else would share their own strategy. Some people would tell you कि वाला book पढ़ लो, ये पढ़ लो. You have all that information, knowledge out in the market. You don't need you don't need to have it in one place. But I would just say that every student is unique in itself. And just don't try to copy someone. So for example, if you're reading an answer of some topper, you tend to think कि I have to write उसी की जैसा बिल्कुल in a particular way. But you need to think कि I have my own strengths, I have my own weaknesses. So just know yourself first of all. Like मैं एक छोटे से एग्जाम्पल दूंगी. जैसे कई बार बच्चे होते हैं ना एसेज देखते हैं लोगों के and they try to copy their style of writing. But they always forget that they might have something original and which is even more beautiful. So every student needs to self-analyze their own bit, what are their strengths and where they can outshine others without copying someone else's strategy or their way of writing or anything else. So don't blindly copy anyone. Just know yourself where you can perform better and just capitalize on your own strengths. That is, and secondly, I would say that, just understand the requirement of this exam. That is very important.
Right.
So yeah, I think self-awareness and understanding the requirement of this exam is very important. And just know that you're unique in this journey as everyone else is. You can't really be someone else, but you can always make yourself better. So just compete with yourself, not with others. And when you compete with yourself, you improve every day and you excel that way. So that's about it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.